Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video, this time airsoft. I'm going to be converting this WE T8 2015 or gas blowback P90 to run off HPA. It's really simple because of the way the system works. I'm going to give a brief overview. So it's a gas gun and you use your standard green gas in this. So you fill up your magazine, and obviously hammer hits a valve, expels gas, shoots BB out, easy. But because a lot of the time when you're putting liquid into a magazine, when you're putting gas into a magazine, there's a little bit of liquid there, and that's what helps it expand. Now, the way they've gotten around this and causing a lot of cooling issues is to have an internal reservoir just here. So what happens is when you put the magazine in, it opens the valve here, and it comes down to this little reservoir where you can sort of safely let the gas expand, and then it will shoot it out. So this is actually really easy to convert to HPA, because you don't need to do anything to the magazines except perhaps taking this valve out. What you really need to do is drill, tap, and then put in one of these, which is a male QD line adapter, and you just need to put that down here, and you can see here I've already drilled a little pilot hole, and this is where you're going to be putting that in, so the line's going to go in straight here. But without further ado, let's break this thing down. I'll give you a rundown on how to do this successfully, and there's a couple of things which are similar to AG's, mostly the magazine catch, which when I was speaking to a guy who did this over in the States, he said he snapped his because just tried to brute force it, and there is a little bit of a knack to it. So let's get this thing taken apart. So first you got to remove the magazine, we don't need that anymore, and then so to take this apart you got to pull back the charging handle, make sure the bolt is all the way back, and put it or take it off safe. So first things first, we're going to press this button down and take the front off. We don't need that anymore, so let's cut this out to the side, and the bolt should just pop straight out. There we go, we don't need that anymore either, so let's put that to the side too. Now to get the trigger group out, it's very easy. You just want to pull this butt plate up, so pull it up and off, and then as you can see there is a little bit just here, just this tab, and you want to pull it up, and that will just slide straight out, and that's your trigger mech. Now if you want to do anything to the trigger mech, you can get it nice and clean, but don't bother taking it apart. You don't need to. It's in very good. It's just don't need to. Now you've got all this down, and it's pretty simple. So you can see here, this is the, if I can get a good bit of light on it, so you see just here, that is the part which meshes up with the bolt, just there, see that right there, yeah, just there, and this is the valve which meets with the magazine and fills the internal reservoir just here, which is just this little bit. It's like a little L shape, and that's what we're going to be taking out, drilling and then tapping to put the line in. So what we're going to do is we're going to first take off the magazine catch, which is not actually too difficult. So we have just an all flathead screwdriver. What you want to do is try and get it underneath, and there you go. And then you can just get it onto the other side and do the same, and that will pop right out. And it doesn't actually cause any damage. You can see a couple of scuff marks, but other than that, this thing is going to be in decent nick, and make sure not to lose the spring, of course. So I'm just going to put that up there. Now that that's out, what you need to do is take out all of these. So you need an Allen wrench for that, and I like to work from the front and just get these things removed as quickly as possible. Now I found the easiest way to make sure you know which ones, because they're all different lengths because of obviously different heights and thicknesses in the body, so I found the easiest way is just to line them up on the side and make sure they're all in the same order as the gun. So let's just remove this and put that over here. And then just get rid of all of this. So that one's going to come down here. See, it's a different thickness. I don't know if you can tell by the video, but if we take the first and that, so you can see just up here, if it wants to focus on me, come on, let's get it focused. So you can see these two are very much different lengths, and you get some ones which are even longer as well. So let's get them like that. And continue to remove all of these. So I will cut here and get it all when it's done. Right, and we're just on the last one now, and should be done pretty soon. There we go. Cool. So now we've got all of these out, what we can do is we can just lift these two parts of the body apart if it wants to. Let's see. There we go. Oh, it's a bit tight. And there we go. That's it. Cool. So you can see we've got the trigger mechanism, and the reason why you need to put it on single point, because this little part here, right up here, when it's in safe, it likes to sort of poke itself out and push out a bit. It's much easier just to keep it so it's not safe, and just keep it in single. I found that to be the most reliable to taking this apart. So let's go put this somewhere safe. Okay, and what you can see here is this is the reservoir. I'm going to bring it in a little bit closer. So this is the reservoir here. Right here is where we're going to be drilling the main hole, and then threading it, putting a thread through there with a tap, and here's the trigger bar. So let's take that out. Let's put this to the side as well, and let's get rid of that trigger bar. So here you go. So you can see here, this is how, so when the magazine is in, it'll have a little push bit here. So when you seat the magazine, it'll push down, and that'll release this bar from the valve. Come on, focus. Nope, doesn't want to. So basically this valve, there you go. This bar will just push down on there and release that valve. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take a screwdriver and take this apart, and then we can adjust the camera and get ready to drill the main hole and then tap it. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Right. So let's get that sorted. Cool. This should, yeah, just one more. I forgot about that one. Cool. Should just come out. It's coated in silicone oil. It's a bit greasy, so there we go. Got it. Just make sure those two don't go walkies, because this won't work without them. Okay, here you go. This is the main part, and the part we're going to be concerned with. So we're going to need to make sure that is nice and clean and ready to be, well, ready to be drilled into. So I've got a vise ready off camera. I'm going to move the camera, and then we're going to drill this. Now what I'm going to be using for this is a bit of an odd drill. Here we go. Which is, if I remember rightly, 11/32ths of an inch, something like that. 32ndths of an inch. I'm not sure how to say it. I'm not particularly good with imperial measurements, but because we're working in imperial, and because this is going to be the tap we're using right here, and this is 1/8 by 27. Let's see, there you go. So I had to order this from I ordered it from a UK site, but they had to get it from the US, where they get sort of shipments from. So this is what we're going to be making the threads with, and that should be pretty easy. Right, so got this in the vise. You can see you've got the pilot hole already drilled here, ready to be made much bigger. So let's go and do that now. So it's probably going to get a bit noisy, so I might speed this up, but hopefully. Oh. Excuse that. Come on. Cool, there we go. So got that drilled out, and yeah, it looks good. Let me just get a bigger bit to get all the burrs. There we go. Cool. So let's just get the other side, give that a look. So I got my light here. Let's just have a look at that. So we can get some picture inside there. No, okay. Let's see if we can move this around, and there we go. Can we see in there? No, not very easily. No, okay. Well, I can see in there, and it looks okay to me. Hasn't got any massive amounts of burrs. No, it doesn't. So what's next is to get the tap and make sure there's a nice thread in there. Okay. So let's move that. Let's make sure everything is focused, and let's see. Yep, that's gonna fit. There we go. And let's just go. I mean, so let's try and get that going as straight as possible. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's going pretty dead straight, so let's make sure that's going. Yeah. So I was always taught at school, while doing any kind of threading, would be to go one full turn and then 1/2 back. Yeah, there we go, just to make sure we clear out any of those fragmented bits. There you go, and a little bit back, and you can feel the resistance from them just going out slightly. There we go. Cool, and a little bit back. And you might even be able to hear them hitting the paper. There we go, and a little bit back. And just want to make sure this is all nice and clean. Okay, that's not quite tight enough. There we go. And okay, so finished doing the tapping, and I don't know if you can see. Let's get nice and close. Come on, come on, there you go. Can you see I've got a nice little thread there? Yeah, it wants to focus on me more than it wants to focus on that. Anyway, I've got quite a nice little thread there. I've got no burrs left, and I've got this. So just to make sure it fits in all nicely, so. Yeah, there we go, seems to fit in nice and tight. So all that's left to do is to PTFE this. Although, actually looking at it, I have a feeling that the screw, when I put this back together, is not going to be able to get past that. Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this together, which means I need to zoom out, not in. There we go, perfect. So I need to put this back together with this piece right here. And then I think what I need to do is put the gun back together. So here we go, let's get the small one done first. Nope, does not use an Allen key. Here we go. not too tight, but tight enough. And then this one should just, drop back in there and seat itself quite nicely. Yeah, there we go. So let's get this finger tight and then. Okay, so once we've done this, what we're going to do is we're just going to check on one half of the shell, one half of the body, if when this is screwed in, if it's going to fit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to try the line and see if the line will fit as well. So let's grab one half of the body and we'll check. Okay, here we go. And this should just fit in quite nicely, although actually I remember having difficulty with this before, so it should just line up with this bar here, and yep, I think that's in. Nope, not quite. Nope. Yes, there we go. That's definitely feels better, and that's fallen down and should just clip in perfectly. Okay, this is also an opportunity to show you the magazine cutoff for this. So I showed you this little pin here before, right down at the end there, and this little bar here, once you put the magazine in and it's seated properly, it will push down that bar. So you can see me pushing on this and you can see that little bit moving, so that just stops the hammer from hitting the release valve. And actually, looking at it, this fits absolutely perfectly. Now when you do this, before you do anything else, once you've taken it apart, you will need to Dremel away or cut away. There's a little patch which just covers this little bit here, just the base of the reservoir. And you'll need to cut that off, either with a small saw or, like me, a Dremel, just to make sure that you have access to it and you can actually get that down there. But now that that's nice and fitted and working, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure it's airtight. So I'm going to take this off, I'm going to unscrew that, and I'm going to put some PTFE tape on it, which should help the air seal and stop any unwanted leakage. So let's just in front of the camera this time. So just there, and it doesn't want to focus. There we go. Let's wrap it round. Just want to make sure you get a nice seal. There you go. That's much better. So there we go. And as you can see, it's just this little white tape, and then that should just screw in there very nicely. Yeah, cool. So that's nearly done. We're going to need some pliers to tighten this up. Fortunately, I don't have a wrench that's the right size. I should have just get an adjustable wrench. And I think that's about as tight as it's going to want to go without a wrench. But I don't think I need to put any more torque on that anyway. It seems like it's in there pretty good. So yeah, let's put this gun back together. Now, before I forget, going to need to use the trigger bar. And I think actually looking at it, assembling it from the side with the actual fire selector in may be easier. So I'm just going to swap sides. Okay, yeah, here we go. And yes, so what I need to do is this. That's how it goes. Okay. And this goes up here into there. Yes, there we go. So I can put that all back together once I've got that in. Perfect. And then this should just clip in there, like that. Let's see if we can get a nice focus on. There you go. So you can see that trigger bar is back in place, and it's just, it'll sit here, and when you pull the trigger, it just moves it. It's like that. That's all it does. So that can go there, and let's put the other half on top. And just make sure everything is. I want to make sure this sear is up, and hopefully it should just go straight back on. No, it doesn't want to. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can. Oh, there we go. Cool. So that's all tacked together. Let's quickly flip it over, make sure nothing falls out, and let's get all these screws back in, and then we can do the mag release, which I'm pointing to, but is actually off camera. So let's put all these away. Don't need those anymore, and don't need this for now, I don't think. So let's make sure all these are going in. There we go. Right, there we go. All nice and tight, and we've only got a few things left to put back in. So let's put them back in. Let's start off with the, well, with the mag release catch. Only 2 pieces, but we don't want to break anything. I can tell you the easiest way to do this is to make sure it goes in, and to wobble it over to one side, make sure it catches. Let's put that in there, like that. And so you can see these little hooks here. Easiest thing is just to rock one in, make sure it goes over it. Oh, I guess we're going to use that one, and then just push the other one on, and there you go. So you just need to rock it over so it manages to catch on one of these sides, and then you can just roll the other one straight over the top, and it will just click in, and that's not going anywhere. Excellent. So next is going to be possibly the easiest component to remove, which is the, well, fire control unit, and that just literally slides in, and it's just a case of one click, and then I think that's it. Yeah, there we go. So that's in there nice and smooth, and we don't want to pull the trigger just yet. But let's put the butt plate back on, and that again will just slide on nice and easy. And next will be the bolt. So make sure it's the right side down, which will be this side just here, with the gas flow nozzle. And oh, there's got a bit of dirt on it. And that should just hopefully slide right back in. Perfect. And then, of course, the next part is the whole upper assembly. So let's just grab that and make sure it's nice and lined up, and just slide that back in. Perfect. There we go. That's pretty much your converted WE gas blowback P90. Before I do anything else, I just want to make sure the line absolutely fits. So I've got my line here, and what I'm going to do is just see if it fits. So put down on the bottom, press it in, give it a tug. Yeah, seems solid, fits nice at the bottom. Hopefully I'm going to be skirmishing this soon. I don't have any air at the moment because I've only just bought my tanks. And well, no air, no nothing. So you know, it's I can't test it out, which is gonna bum me out for the next few days. But there you go. That's how you convert the gas blowback WE P90 to HPA. Very, very easy, very simple. I can't really think of anything else to say, to be honest. So there you go, and it's not even very intrusive. So yeah, cool little gun. I can't wait to skirmish it. I can't wait to see how it works. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye. Hello, so for you, this is just going to be a shooting section. For me, it's actually a couple of days past. I finished doing the modifications to this P90 not very long ago, but it was a couple of days. I have a friend of mine who offered to give me some air. He came around yesterday and filled up my tanks, and that's very kind of him. So I can show you this now. I can show you shooting, I can show you the recoil, I can dump a magazine. So let's show you. First, I'm running this at about, if you can see that, come on, focus. Nope, doesn't want to focus. Right, let's just get that in there. Yeah, there we go, about 100 psi. So we're running a bit, you know, I'm not sure. It's cycling really, really well, but I've actually got no idea. Got no idea what FPS it's shooting out, so I haven't got my chronograph with me. But let's get this line attached. There we go. And make sure that's in. Okay, that seems to be working. A quick note first. These magazines, I was getting gas leakage, and that's because this valve right here, the one it's not focusing on, there we go. That valve right there was interrupting the reservoir. I found the easiest thing was just to take them out, and it works fine now. So let's have a look. So, cool. So single first. And let's go for full auto. That's it, we're done, 50 rounds. Let's have a quick look at the magazine and make sure. Oh, still got a few. Cool, well, let's see what was up there. Oh. And I think that is it actually now. Yeah, there we go. I'm empty. So, pretty nice. Plenty of felt recoil. Not sure if it comes across in the video. But, yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.